felt when each one of my babies was born. The amount of warmth and overwhelming love I felt was bar none. We as dads aren't always seen. So this is a global shout to all dads, dynamic astronomical dudes. Being a parent is a privilege that we sometimes take for granted. What's up, Dad?
D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many names before me. D-A-D, that's the name of a man.
So what's up? And welcome to Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. So I just wanted to say, before I get started, thank you to my friend Ev Foster. Like, you were the first person to show me that you had purchased one of the stickers from Dadchop, and it looks great on the cup. I can see if I can pull that up real quick and share with everybody, because that's awesome. Thank you for the support, my lifelong friend. That's just dope. There's the sticker. You probably can't see it because of the blur, but there it is, Dadchop. That way. However, nonetheless, it's there, right? That's so awesome. Thank you so much. That's super dope. Love you. That's just great. I'm telling you, my heart is huge right now because that's really awesome. You beat me to the punch. I didn't even get my little order in yet. So, thank you again for your support and for tuning into Dadchop even, because that's dope. And I see that you made it. Love you. Thank you. I'm glad you made it today. Try to keep the conversation flowing today, right? Oh, my God. Thank you again. I really appreciate you. That's huge. Sorry for slurping. So, how was your weekend? I'll start there, because mine was a little over the top busy. I had to, I don't know, it was like weird, like yesterday. Okay, well, let's start with Friday. Let me slow down. So Friday, my daughter moved into the dorms, and I had to do the honor of loading up my vehicle and aiding in what we were moving, up 3 flights of stairs, or, to the 3rd floor nonetheless. And it was bananas, on this double replaced hip. At some point, it just started getting tired, and it just does. So we finally got everything loaded in, and I was pretty wiped. And I figured, since her boyfriend was there, that me being there wasn't necessarily a hindrance, but I figured, like, let her and her dude move her stuff in and get everything kind of settled and situated. So I kind of was like, hey, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna skedaddle. So she walked me to the door, and then I left, and that was Friday. Like, that was my Friday start. And then she came home, she grabbed a couple of more effects and took those, and it was a lot. I mean, it was a good day, but it was just like one of those things where, I'm turning this down here, just one of those things where, like, as I was thinking about what was actually happening in this process, was that one of my birds is leaving the nest, growing up, and doing the thing, the thing that we as adults do as we are young, when we start out and we leave the nest. Not something our parents really desired for us to do, I'm sure, in some cases, but it was pretty cool. I was excited as well, Ev, because I thought to myself, like, this is like her growth period. Like, so it was super exciting for me. I felt like, she's a young woman. She's doing her thing. She's ready to do that thing. She was ready to be independent. She was already kind of standing on her own too for the last all summer. She really just took care of her own fuel. She took care of her own responsibilities. When she wanted to shop, she shopped. She reserved cash as well. She saved cash for rent. So she's good. Like, I'm just super proud of her movements. Like, just, it's awesome. So, like, I even called my dad and I was like, Dad, look. And I showed him where they live. And, I was like, and she lives in this area here. And it was exciting. Somebody had their black and white Great Dane walking amongst the other dog or the other kids and their families and a couple other dogs. So it's pretty cool. Thank you very much, Ev. She says, right, we did a good job, and I thank you. Hats off. I I just stop and I think about when she was 3 and she told me that she was going to go and write her dissertation. I kind of knew what kind of brain she had in that moment, and I was like, wow, she absorbs things like a sponge. So she's heard about a dissertation, and she has the understanding at 3 that she has to write this thing in order to be able to deliver it. And at that point, I think she's just been on that track ever since, just skyrocketing. And I apologize for the pause, but that was like, wow, like she's grown up and she's out and she's doing it. It was great. Like I videotaped her driving in front of me for a second. Like I just had to get a visual of that. Like, this is my baby who said dissertation at 3, driving her car up the street to head towards her apartment building where she will have roommates. So I was excited for her. I was excited for the growth. She decorated her room really nice because she pretty much just took what she already had here, and I already called her room here her own apartment anyway because it was decorated the way she wanted it and painted the way she asked for it to be painted. Sorry, stretching that neck because I had to pull weeds yesterday. Ooh. So nonetheless, I'll get to the weed story later. But yeah, she was like happy to be there, and I was happy for her to have that opportunity. So I made light of it. I made a little video on TikTok about what I what my daughter thinks I did, which was cry and everything and sulk and be sad that she left. And then the other side of it was me partying. What's up, Ichiban? So it's my number one homie right there. T, love you, brother. Um, I just lost my train of thought for a second there. Sorry. Damn, that's great. See, I'd be getting sidetracked. See, you can hear that. Oh, that's what I was saying. Sorry. Yeah, I videotaped her driving in front of me, and it was cool because I just had to see that moment in her growth as well as she was just going. So I was like, "This is my baby leaving the nest." And then, like I said, the hard part was carrying all them boxes. Once we got those upstairs, I was like, okay, Dad's kind of exhausted, so I'm gonna run home now and pass out. And then when I wake up, just kidding. So then I just came in and I did my work, and that's how I do it. And then so Saturday, then she came and I think we ate and hung out on Saturday. And then Sunday, she came and her mom did her hair and um, got her eyelashes done and all that stuff. So they hung out all day, and so my day turned into just we washed the dogs, I swept, I mopped, um, just a whole bunch of chores, and I went outside, right? And after all this rain that we've had here, my yard with my zero-scaping, looked like a freaking jungle outside. I was like, what is going on? So I had to go out there and hand pull a bunch of tall weeds that were just out of this world. It was ridiculous. And then I used that new flame joint and cooked the rest of them joints, and then sprayed down the front, and that was that. And then I went and got the ladies and my son and myself some lunch, came home, and proceeded to do laundry. But it was like one of those days where it was just one thing after the next thing after the next thing. But I will say that on Saturday, regardless of what I remember or what I don't from that day's, like, tasks and moving around, that by 8 p.m., I was in front of my television watching the Dallas Cowboys outperform the Chargers. And I was super impressed with the cleanup of all the penalties. I was super impressed with the energy and the gameplay. And I said, okay, cool. Now my second tier dudes are starting to show what was, I think, coming together, and maybe they just hadn't figured out how to put the mold on it when they faced Denver, because they gave Denver a super false sense of hope, because Denver went to Buffalo and thought they were about to do something, and they got saturated in their own blood in the arena of battle. You know what I'm saying? They straight got served up like 42-15 or something like that, right? Buffalo just was like, look, we're going to show you something. Let's see. Right. Thanks, Ev. That's dope. It was a long day too, wasn't it? And I got 4 dogs to wash. Now, of course, I had help, and yesterday was great because sometimes the family will just leave washing the dogs on me. We'll get back to the NFL in just a moment. They'll get back. My Great Dane gets in the tub by himself, so he'll just walk in and go straight to the bathtub because he knows what's coming, so he just gets in. My Bulldog is a little stubborn turd, but once you get her on the other side of the door, then she's pretty much submissive. And then we have the Yorkie, and that's my daughter's dog, but she'll, of course, reside here because she didn't want to take her to the dorms, even though they're allowed to have pets. She just didn't want that headache because we take care of her here anyway, so, I know that's going to continue. And then we have the little Chihuahua guy down here on my lap, because when she's not here, like, the 2 little dogs are so out of balance. It's almost like their chi is off. So, I'm not really sure what that's about. But, because the Chihuahua doesn't really hang out with her or do anything with her. I mean, he's kind of like a loner dude, but when she's not here, it's almost like he's like lonely for just a visual of her, And then, of course, her dog is her dog. So her dog is like, where in the heck is my roommate or my mom or however I deem her? Where is she at? Where's my pet? There was this girl that I used to own that was in here, and she's no longer here. So, yeah. So you have 2 dogs, and that's still a lot, I got a friend who's got 2 dogs, and, he says it's a task to bathe them. The hardest one to bathe, I think, is probably the Chihuahua, because he's so full of piss and vinegar that he's angry about everything. So he's ready to fight. He doesn't care. Brush his teeth, he's angry. Wash his back, he's angry. Pet him, try to love him, he's angry. He's just an angry dude. So he gives everybody shit. And then, of course, Danes are super lovable. That's my giant back there. And then the Bulldog and him are back there kissing each other or whatever. And then, I don't know where Kona is at, but she's somewhere around here. And yeah, they're comedic, but yeah, everybody gives you their like thing, like Kona's a squirm when she's getting bathed, and Cheesecake, like I said, she's just hard to get down the hallway. You're like, oh my god, I gotta convince you to just come in here and do this. And then it's great because after they're clean, they're like all happy and they're rolling around. And then, excuse me, my Great Dane, he runs. Like he whips through the house like about 110 times. He slides on the floor, slams into the cabinets. He's just a freaking fool. So I'm like, dude, you're huge. You're just sliding into stuff. I'm like, this is crazy. What up? What up, Reg? How you doing? Good to see you, sir. Just checking. We here, man. We are here. So I'm just like I don't know. I was worn out yesterday. Every time I sat down, even for a second, even between loads of laundry or when I had to go get lunch for everybody, like I swear I took a power nap. I just passed out. Like I had been working since I think yesterday I started at 5 because I don't know what it is with me, but I just feel compelled to do things. And if the moment strikes me, I'm just gonna start pulling weeds, or I'm gonna mop, or I'm gonna do something. Like I usually try to mop when when I have less traffic. Like today is a great day to hit the floor. However, it will rain again, so I'm just gonna probably let that happen, and just let the paw prints be the paw prints. Because my dogs sometimes are foolish when it rains, like they gotta run out and play in it, which I would hope they don't do that today. So, oh, nice, Reg at work. Well, thanks for tuning in. I'm glad you came in, bro. Wanted to say again for everybody who's here now. I thanked Ev earlier, and again, thank you. Much love. She did buy a sticker, and it is dope. And I so love the support. Thank you. She beat me to the punch. Like I said, I wanted to get a shirt, a little mug, grab a little bit of everything. So I just had to wait for the budget to be corrected real quick, i.e., I was waiting for some of this dough so I could put it in the bag. And I did that. So now I am happy. Not much, but just enough to keep me afloat doing what I like to do. Like I like my side project dough, so that way I can go buy like the 3 cameras, that I got set up here, so that way I can bring you to you Dadchop, where we chop it up. What? Dad style. Yeah, I like that. You know, just a little spot advertisement. I really thought that was super cool though, and to catch it, you can rewind and see the sticker because I tried to show it at least on this cast here, this vlog from my mouth. So yeah, that was pretty interesting the way Dallas handled their game this weekend. That Cavante Turpin, there you go. Turpin time is what they were saying. That kid is freaking the truth. My goodness. My goodness. I'm trying to tell you. That was, wow, electric, to say the least. So the question is, did the Cowboys run him in the 3rd week, knowing that everybody's going to try to key in on him and he could potentially get hurt? Or are they going to save him? Just go ahead and... Because, dude clearly established that he will have a spot on the Cowboys after 2 run backs. Come on, son. That was ridiculous, man. I mean, and the agility with which he did it, it wasn't like the path was so super clear that he just ran through this incredible hole. there were just holes, but he was picking the right directions to move through those holes and utilize his defenders to his advantage. I know I saw a hold on one of those returns because it's it's sometimes I just don't understand how referees miss. My jersey and my neck are turning this way, and the dude defending me is like over here behind me. So clearly I'm being horse collared or something. Somebody's got my jersey here. I'm being held, but it doesn't matter, I guess, right? He was still past those two dudes anyway, and there's no way dude was gonna catch him. So that other dude could have just let him go because that kid lightning bolted through those fools and was ahead of the punter, and the punter had no chance whatsoever. So Turpin is the truth. I mean, I was like, dang. And then, like I said, I think, the Broncos beating the Cowboys last week gave them a false sense of something because they thought they could ball, and Buffalo showed them that they weren't really prepared. And then, of course, Patrick Mahomes, that boy does his thing. That man, rather, that mama, there goes that man, right? Right. So, for real, Patrick Mahomes is the truth. I mean, that dude was balling out of control this weekend. I was like, dang. And the fact that I say that is like he moved the ball, passes were complete, he gets in the end zone twice. I'm just like, wow, this is. Everybody thought that he lost his weapon with Tyreek Hill, right? And he's showing you that he did not. That he is still he's Patrick Mahomes. Don't call him Patty. He'll get in trouble by his mom. So hats off, Patrick. That's Mahomes. I'm just kidding, because it really wasn't that funny. I don't know if anybody is on the Netflix tip, but if you haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist, you need to. I think you'll be highly impressed with that. If you like anime and you understand the story of the Full Metal Alchemist joint, like just ultimately they used alchemy in their time period, and this dude, his younger brother, has been transferred into a suit of armor, but it's his soul only. So he is the suit. So the show is pretty sick. I enjoy it. That's so cool. Man, it's funny because you think about the storyline, but when they actually brought it to life in this live action show, it's incredible. I hate the way they actually just ended this one though, because this is kind of like the part two, and well, it's not kind of like it. I guess it's the continuing saga that they started in the first one, right? And I mean, I love the way his brother looks in the armor, the way it moves, like everything. He's the little kid inside the armor. What are you doing over there, Conan? But he's the little dude inside the armor for real, and so it's awesome. Um, Special effects are great. I mean, it's a really cool show, actually. So yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Gotta catch the first one and the second one. They left this last one as like a cliffhanger, which just really jacked me up. Like literally, they get swallowed by gluttony, and now they're just stuck in this realm that was made. And so I'm like, it's dope. And they're like they want to get out. And then that's where they leave it, where it's like to be continued. And I was like, wow, y'all just punched me around the eye. Look at Kona. Just bold as can be. Just gonna get up on the table, hang out. Because she can, because there's stacks of stuff back there that the girls use. And I'm just like, goodness gracious. So she just walks up the stacks and gets right on the daggone table. Hey man, I'm trying to tell you, Reg, like there's been a lot of satisfactory things that I'm enjoying on freaking Netflix, man. For real, like I even was watching, I think it's what, Lock and Key, and then like cuz it's about this family and they have this different set. they have they have different keys that do different things. So like they have a belt and a key, and if you turn that key, you get it's the Hercules key. So they get Herculean. You get whoever's wearing the belt gets Herculean strength, and it's live action, like it's like real people. It's a really cool storyline, but the Locke family has access to the house, and the house is the key house. And so some people want to get in the key house because they know about the keys and they're trying to get the keys so they can do different things, because you can stick one key in the back of your neck and unlock your mind, and then I can go inside your head and then we could be talking and stuff. Like they brought one of the cast members out of a coma, or yeah, like kind of a coma. I guess she was in a comatic state, but she was like her eyes were open, but she didn't do anything. She didn't talk, and then they went in there and unlocked that. And then Chick told her to come out with her, and she did, and so she regained who she was and regained consciousness. I mean, the show that's off the top, so that was pretty dope. I was talking about the new Jamie Foxx Day Shift. Um, you know, that was pretty good. Uh, there's a few others like I started watching. I told y'all Whack Fu. That's fun. But if you like anime, I mean, you got to be into whatever it is that's going on. Wow, even cheesecakes in here. Let's see if we can see what cheesecake's looking like. Because she's sitting down chilling. Yeah, she's funny. Good girl. Let me just pat you some more. I tell you, I love you. I love you. What you doing? Trying to show your face now. Tired of being. be able to appreciate everything that's happening. Um, just a lot of good stuff, man. Shoot. And then Star Wars next month, right? It's about to start that Andor thing on Disney, and I still gotta see Love and Thunder, man. Thor, I, I don't know. I wanted to go to the theater, but it just hasn't been time with everything. It seemed like everything just kind of closed in real quick with my daughter moving, and I was having to get boxes situated, and she did a lot of her own stuff, but still in all, that was kind of that's where we were at. I mean, I can't, and I can't be mad at that. Um, what are you doing? Why are you always in there? You don't realize those are wires and stuff, man. Kona is just the investigator dog. Jeez. So, you know. Tell you, man. Dogs are fun. I enjoy all ours. We have, like I said, the turtle also, and he thinks he's a dog. I mean, he shows up to get pet every day. He wants to be pet on his head. I just rub his head, and he's chill. He eats fruits and vegetables, and I feed him pretty much daily. So it's like crazy how he comes to you, and he is fast. So when he sees me, he moves toward me like, "Hey, what is up, dude? You're the giver of deliciousness, and you pet me, and this is crazy. I love life." And I'm like, this is so dope because I feel so like Ace Ventura like, when it comes to animals, man. Because when I met my wife, she told me that she heard they had a Chihuahua and they say he hates everybody. So don't be offended when he doesn't like you, And I said, all right, cool. I was down. Let's see what it is, because you're talking to a dude. I had like 12 Shar-Peis at one point in time, man, and it was crazy because I had a male who impregnated two of my females, and they had litters, and then I just had all these freaking Shar-Peis because I didn't really know what to do with them, and I wasn't in the market of like getting them papered and doing all that. I didn't have the dough at that time for sure. I just had poor ownership skills. So I just put them in the paper, told people, their parents are registered, which they were, but they're not. So enjoy. So just sold them and moved out. And then I had my Shar-Peis when I met my wife. So I'm just saying, I love dogs, and it's funny that, I take on another one just because I like dogs, that much. But of course, nobody in here is going to let me, and nobody in here is going to help me with them. So I'm good. I got 4 fur babies and 1 teenage boy that we're still working on, attitude, etc., with. So, we're getting through it. It's teenage stuff. It's just funny how I really don't remember when people go, "Do you remember how you treated your mom?" Yep, like a queen, because that was my mom, and I didn't see any other way to be toward my mom. Even if I was angry at her for anything, that's still my mom. Like in the root of my soul, that was my mother, and I say was because, as you know, she is gone, but that was mom, dude, like for real, like whatever. So I didn't treat my mom in any kind of way other than show her the respect that she deserved for bringing my butt up, right? Well, it's kind of funny because my little dude is so mean to everybody. Everybody gets it. He's mean, but he's cool because then he's like, sometimes, like not sometimes, most times he'll come back to me and he's like, "I'm sorry, Dad. I was just frustrated because of this," and then he'll tell me what the reason was. But I'm like, dude, you gotta be more expressive like that at the start, like at the jump. Say, "Hey, Dad, I'm feeling a little frustrated, and you being in my presence right now is not helping me, and your line of questioning, I'm not interested in answering anything right now. So as far as I'm willing to go is telling you how my day went. If you say, how was your day? And I say, fine, leave it at that, shut up. Let's just go home or wherever it is we're headed. And he doesn't say that, but I really feel like that's the energy I'm getting. It's like, dude, do not come at me with some convo because I just don't want it right now. And his sister was the exact same way. When she would get out of school, just don't talk to me. Maybe me walking home from school allowed me to unwind. And so by the time I walked home from school, I had burned off my a-hole energy, and now I'm ready to actually communicate with people. Or maybe it's just the fact that I respected my elders. And when I got home, I just said good things like, hey, Grandma, how you doing? How was your day? She'd ask me how my day was. We would talk, and then we were ready to, move on. Like, I'd see my aunt. We'd talk. Or if they were all sitting at the table when we came in from school, everybody's talking to everybody. And then our moms are going to still sit there and talk to their mom. So it's just like, you know, different change, man. Very moody, like angry moody though, like in a nonchalant way too. Because they're like, I remember when COVID hit and how my daughter felt about it, and I wasn't panicky about it because I knew that as long as you keep yourself decontaminated and fresh and clean, breathing behind whatever mask you got, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be better off than not, right? So we just handled the business. It was no big deal. That's how I thought about it. As a nuclear biological chemical specialist in the Army, that was my job, was to know about those things. So from nerve agents to, nuclear fallout, et cetera, which you can survive because you can shower and wash it off because most fallout is usually particles of dust and dirt, etc. So, nonetheless, hot showers, nuclear fallout. But it can't be, of course, in the zone of destruction either, because there'll be nothing but ash. You'll be ash. So, nonetheless, right, very flippant. Like, and it's crazy because they'll come out and everything is cool, and then all of a sudden, nothing's cool. And why are you in here? And why are you in my room? Why are you in my space? This is a square that I built. Better not enter it. And you're like, wow, dude, I just came to ask you for some chicken nuggets. I was about to put some in the air fryer. So you just be getting beat up sometimes verbally, and I don't understand it because, like I said, I didn't give that. I wasn't allowed to give that. Like, if I would have talked to anybody, I guess that's the difference. Is it CYFD? I'll call CYFD. You'll get in trouble for hitting me, right? Because you're not allowed to touch your children anymore. And I'm not saying I need to hit anybody. I'm just saying at the point when we did what we did back in the day, didn't matter what age you were, if you were speaking to one of your elders, they had the right to reach out and light you up, and they would do so. And you know this, right? So in all actuality, the truth be told, you got slapped when you were stupid. Now if you do something stupid, you can't nothing. You can't do anything. And I'm saying stupid for us was something as simple as saying what to my mother was like this high a level of crime on the list of all the other stupid things that you could have done. You asked your mom what? Wow. You talk about getting lit on fire. So there were things that you just learned that you don't do. And like my kids, of course, I try to give them those principles and teach them, look, this is the respect I deem as your freaking father, and I'm here. So if I were some dude that was absent and then I came in here trying to act like something, cool. I done your diapers and your poops and your vomits and your stuffs. So I put in on you already. So, if I ask you to help me out or do something, I really don't expect you to be smacking your lips and being all, I'm like, I got auditions, right? First thing out of anybody's mouth when I say I have an audition today, I need you to shoot it. They'd be like, and I'm like, really, dude? Like, I only I get these opportunities rarely, and this year has been great for the auditioning because I've been flying in, but I'm not booking any gigs yet. So I just hopefully get one of these last two that I audition for, and that would be super awesome. But unfortunately, due to non-disclosure stuff, I can't discuss what they actually are. But it's super dope, and like I really wished, like I'd say, like I auditioned for this past season of Stranger Things because I auditioned to be the postman, which I did not get, which was in like the first episode of the fourth season or whatever. Like that was pretty dope, and I was like, dang, but it was a different dude. But those opportunities when they come, I'm like, dang, I'm all over them. That's great, Em. Oh man, I made sure to remind them in their person. I'm in their personal space because they came out of my personal space. That is freaking awesome. Ah, that's great. That's funny as hell. Yeah, I just it's funny because I try to like honor that with them though too. Like I'm trying to be like, hey, like you've got your space. Like I don't even front, man. Like I that's your little crib. If you want to consider that your own world away from the rest of the world, then I'm allowing you to have that, But at the same time, don't beat me up because I entered it, dude. Because like I'm just coming in one to further check on you, to further aid you, to ask you what you want to eat, to find out what your needs are. Is everything cool? Are you satisfied? Sometimes I just want to pop in and tell them I love you. I just want to check on and tell you I love you. You'd be like, I love you too. I mean, I always get it back, but just that initial reaction when you open the door, when you've breached the corridor. Oh, right? That's what they were like, oh my God, bro. And you're like, oh, Lord. Right? It's like, I still got it. Oh, man. Potsy, right? I still got it. Yeah. See, man, we grew up on good stuff, man. Even if you could get spanked or slapped or whatever, it didn't matter because we still loved our parents. And on TV, like I said in last time, was like TV was like more wholesome. It didn't matter. Like I said, I wasn't thinking about Laverne and Shirley being girlfriend and girlfriend. I wasn't thinking about, Lenny and Squiggy being gay or being a couple or anything like that. Everybody was like a brother sister thing to me in my mind. I wasn't on it like anything. Like nobody was. Everything was about family. Even if your family was put together like Fonzie and the Cunninghams, and he lived in the apartment above the garage thing. I mean, it was still like a family unit. Let's invite Arthur over, because mom and dad didn't have to call him the Fonz. We're the parents, man. We can call him Arthur Fonzarelli because we know who he is, right? So, it was like that kind of thing that was created, man. Schlemiel Schlemazel, you know? Oh my gosh, like for real, man. Like I enjoyed our era of television and cartoons, the Super Friends, and that guy with the voice on the cartoon that he would say those kind of things. Later, Superman flew into Wonder Woman's jet. And then they're flying in the invisible jet, which was completely a harebrained idea, but it was cool. She knew where to find it. So she could find it and sit in the seat and then tell you, hop in. Then we're good, right? So she knew where it was. And then Aquaman. Just talk to some fish right now, right? So yeah. Later, Aquaman. Like that dude had the coolest voice, and then they had that little sound effect that went. But I wonder how many people remember HR Puff and stuff. Or what was his name? Not Speed Buggy, but he was the Dune Buggy that was on the Croft Brothers show, and he was a regular Volkswagen, and when they honked his horn or whatever, he turned into like that buggy with the glitter and the headlights were eyes. But he wasn't a cartoon; it was live action. Remember Sigmund and the Sea Monster? Sigmund the Sea Monster. Big, what was it? Big Ed, Little Ed. It was her. Oh yeah, because it was Herb Edelman that played that, and Big John, Little John, because he could grow big and be an adult, but then he was like a little kid in real life or something. Captain Caveman. Sorry, I didn't want to do that too loud in the microphone. That's why I tried to turn my head. When I was in basic training, I used to do that when we would be running, doing our cadence and stuff during basic training. They let you wild out a little bit if you could, if you could hold it down, you could hold it down, and I could run in and do the thing. So I'd be like back there yelling crazy stuff like Captain Caveman with that, full volume because we're outside losing our marbles and staying fit. So, you hear that come out every once in a while. Drill sergeant let it happen. But yeah, I used to love, man, Captain Caveman. What was the dude's name? Oh my goodness. Not Snidely Whiplash, but he was on, he had the dog that was always talking about, like, Muttley, because that was Muttley, and then, was it Dick Dastardly or something like that? Like, man, I don't know. Hanna-Barbera put out a lot of really good stuff, and I watched all of it, and then there was, I'm trying to remember, there was Tarzan. I remember the Tarzan cartoon on Saturdays. And then that was followed up by Batman, which is when we were first introduced to Batmite. Because Batmite screwed everything up. And then it was Batman and Robin. And then the Super Friends would come on. By about noon on Saturday is when you lost TV. Because, like I say, sports came on for your grandparents. So then there was no cable. There was no flipping to any other channels. Not at that time. Initially, it was just, hey, you got cartoons until noon, buddy. So you better watch them all, and you better flip the channels, right? Speed Buggy, right? I used to love, man, and they didn't like the Speed Buggy thing was, thanks, Reg, was only, like, but like, right, but like, I'm sure, right, because it was 30 minutes, like the whole half-hour show, and it scrolls like these little 15-minute episodes in, right? But because Speed Buggy was never on enough sufficiently for me, I never got to see the car enough. I want to see it more. But I remember when they used to have the Shazam on, and then Billy Batson, and they had that camper they drove around in. Then dude would get out and be like, Shazam, Shazam, and then he would do his thing. Or Isis, remember, Almighty Isis, and then chick would turn into Isis, and she's like Wonder Woman kicking butt. Frick, Bionic Man, Bionic Woman, Sasquatch. When you found out Sasquatch was really a robot because Steve Austin tore his arm off, remember? I even had the Steve Austin rocket ship and doll back in the day, and he had the little bionics in his arm, and you opened up the rocket ship and laid it down. It was a hospital medical unit, and you plugged in the little tubes, and then you could plug the little hoses into his bionic parts. Like he had a bionic leg, bionic eye, and a bionic arm. And right? I think I have two bionic legs, I guess. Because you can't have one. You be hopping on one leg, talking about, I'm going to jump over the fence with one leg. Ding, 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 ding. But yeah, I used to love the sound effects for him, man. Ching, 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 ching. I used to love that, boy. Go, Steve Austin. But yeah. Speed Racer. Can't forget old Speed Racer and Chim Chim. Oh, man. Good stuff. Good times. Flashbacks are always delicious. Right. See? I like that. She's like, G.I. Joe used to get punked by Steve Austin, her doll, right? And I had some cool G.I. Joes. Like, I had one G.I. Joe my granddad didn't like because the voice chip in it was broke. So instead of him saying, hi, my name is G.I. Joe, he said, hi, my name is G.I. Joe. And my grandpa really just couldn't appreciate him sounding like a chipmunk. So he hated that doll. But it didn't matter. That doll had like the real hair, like that. You could touch it. It was all bristly to your fingertips. And he stood about as tall as the Steve Austin doll, and he had his little khakis on and his little camouflage on, and he was ready to go, man. G.I. Joe, real American hero. G.I. Joe, a real American hero. See, I even remember like all of the Electric Company stuff, man. Electric Company was the bomb. Oh, right. The Steve Austin joint, because you could look through his back of his head and use his bionic eye. You know it. You know it. Do do do. But yeah, man, I had, I don't know. I guess I really just enjoyed a lot of what they had to offer us as kids when we were kids, because that's what it was. It's just what it was. Like, the Stretch Armstrongs and that stuff. Like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I need a container of milk, a loaf of bread, and a stick of butter. A stick of butter, a container of milk, and a loaf of bread. I have to remember that. And she remembered when she got to the store. So things like that, a lot of fun. Because that's what I was saying. Like, man, Electric Company was dope. Sesame Street was ill. And again, the whole Bert and Ernie were, dudes that lived together. Like, never dawned on me to think that. I just thought they were puppet roommate homies. Left it there. Like, you don't always have to be hooking up with your roommate, right? Like, you could just have a roommate, maybe. Right? I'm just like, why? Why, people? Why are we so infatuated with this, right? Because I'll tell you, most of us 70s kids weren't even thinking in that light. I say most of. I mean, none of my friends talked about it. We were just kids being kids. You'd be laughing about some Bert and Ernie. And then if you were all in the house getting a snack and Sesame Street was on, that's what was turned on. Then you're watching Sesame Street. But nonetheless, I really fully enjoyed 70s programming. I didn't really take anything to have any intent on doing anything to my brain. Today, it's just in your face. So everything is what it is. This is your reality, my reality, the world's reality. Reality. You like that? Be echoing stuff. So, not really. I have reverb. I have all the stuff, man. I could be pressing keys. I just got to learn how to program stuff for the broadcast, because I could get some explosions in here and some applauses and some different things like that. That'll make, enhance our experience together here on Dadchop, where we chop it up dad style. So, yeah, today is what? Monday. So, in a few moments, I think that says 1:58. I'm just trying to squint to see my stupid watch. Sometimes I have the numbers too small. I think it said 1:58. So, I know, real quick before I conclude, Red says I'm making him feel old, right? And I'm laughing and I'm saying, no, man, I should be making you feel vintagely appreciative and appreciated. Because if you got to experience what our kids didn't get to experience, that they can only experience through reruns, if they're interested, that they can only experience through researching it on YouTube, then I feel like we had the privilege of being brought up in a time when family values, like I said, no matter who you were, if you were Fonzie, the Cunninghams were still trying to raise you or bring you through your processes the right way. The Cunninghams stood behind what they stood behind. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in that aspect, we were lucky, man. I could turn on TV and watch the Croft Superstars, superheroes, everything that was out. And even if it was some old cheesy rat cartoon that today, if you look at it, you're like, wow, I really enjoyed this. You know what I'm saying? We got the first stuff. Look, we got the first Hulk on TV. We got the first Flash. We got the first Spider-Man. Now I can see the strings that I'm older. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got all that. We got that stuff, man. But we got the wholesome cheesy version. These guys got the computer edited, super clean, dope stuff. So we get that too now. So we got to experience both timelines, bro, and handle it and make the transition. You still listen to hip hop. I still listen to hip hop. I still listen to metal. I still listen to country. Nothing that's changed in me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm making the mental transition so that I can enjoy what's existent today, as well as I can flip back to the old school and know the words to those songs. So man, we're privileged, bro. We're super privileged. And I'm not giving you a lecture for sure because yes, I feel older too. But what I am saying is, let's love who we got to be, man, because they didn't get this. They don't even get to share in any of this. This is us, and we can share it with them, which I'm sure we've all tried. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo, but that's the love, right? I'm just saying that's being vintage though, right? I'm still here kicking it. Like I can still dance, I can still break dance, I can still do all of this. My kids, they don't even understand any of that, and if I don't show it to them, they don't know. Like my oldest son was like asking me, man, I wish I knew how to pop. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I love that. Like, let me show you some things, man, because that's what we did. They don't do. And even if they want to integrate it into the new little whatever this is this week or whatever trend you got to follow and shoot next week, all that trend stuff, whatever, man. Look, we had our trends too, and y'all fell back into them. The cut-up jeans and the retro shirts and the rock and roll shirts and stuff like that. Like you're doing us all over again. You just either made it super tight or super small. Like all the people wearing the NBA shorts. Remember? NBA was the originator of them short shorts. Because you remember how short the NBA shorts were in the 70s. So that's all that's been converted into these clothes that these kids are wearing now. The girls wearing the butt cheek pants and shit. You know, I trip out when my daughter comes out in these things, and I'm like, are those not PJs? Or is like, what is that? Like, what are you wearing, dude? Because you are tripping me out. Like, we're not advertising anything, right? Like, what the hell? So, yeah. In the 70s, that was just the way the shorts were manufactured. And then they went, oops, and they made them a little longer and a little longer and a little longer. So we're on point. Our kids are biting our style. Your style is pretty good, but not as good as mine. So you're killed, Master Wee Wan Woo. I love Kung Fu movies too. Sorry. I get sidetracked and we'll go for another hour, right? Oh my goodness. But I'll save a little something for Wednesday. I hope to see you guys Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Again, I want to say thanks, Ev, for the purchase of the sticker because that's like super ill. And again, I got to catch up to you now. Everybody else, like, you know, just throughout wherever you're at in the world, some couple links down below if you catch this on the rebroadcast, i.e. just to watch it. Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. Down below we got the merch joint. You could check that out. But I'd really much rather you like and subscribe today to like today's video and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, Reggie, T, Ev, I love you guys, and everybody else that's out there. Love you for checking us out here on Dadchop. And again, we'll holler I'll holler at y'all on Wednesday. Next broadcast. Next broadcast from the Dadcast, from the vlog. Word. Much love. Peace.
I remember how I felt when each one of my babies was born. The amount of warmth and overwhelming love I felt was bar none. as dads aren't always seen. So this is a global shout to all dads, dynamic astronomical dudes. Being a parent is a privilege that we sometimes take for granted.
What's up, Dad?
D-A-D, that's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many names.